Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Tom again, and this is part 4 of building a website using Python and Flask. So in the previous video, we set up a very basic web server, and here I still have a very basic web server. I have changed the route here. If you remember from last video, I had home 1 and home 2. Here I went ahead and changed my home route to just say this is my home page, and this one is going to be this is the about page. So, and we have the route set to about. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my server, which should be running in development mode, which means any changes I make in here it will recognize it and it will restart my server so that when I head out to see the actual page, it will all be refreshed for me. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to show you how to add actual HTML. Now, you very well can just do something along the lines of this. So if I want to go ahead and change this to a header tag, I can come back over here and let me adjust this to about. And you'll notice that this is quite large. Well, the text is much larger. Okay. If I go to home, nothing happens because I have no home route. But if I go here, it will actually show this is my home page. All right. So that works pretty well. What I want to do now is I want to go ahead and create a folder in here. So what we're going to make is something called templates, and templates are what hold the HTML, all the HTML stuff we need. And they're called templates for a very good reason, which we'll kind of learn more about in the next video when we talk about Jinja. But for right now, just think of templates as being your HTML. So Flask will look for this folder called templates, and it should be wherever your app is, you want to put the templates folder in that same directory. And what we can do is we can just go ahead and save this. Let's call this, I don't know, we'll call it home.html. Okay, and if I open this up, I've got home, and let's make another one. Let's go ahead and make this our about.html. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to deal with just the home first. So you'll notice that I got app, I've got home right here, and I haven't done anything really with the Python server yet. I've just kind of, set it all up here. So I'm going to come back here, and instead of returning my home page, what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to return that HTML page. Now your first instinct might be to do something like this. You're just going to say, oh, well, templates, and I'll just do home.html, right? Okay, well, that actually doesn't really work. One, because you're really just returning the string called templates home.html. What we want to do is we want to use a function in Flask called render template. Now, what render template does is it takes our template and it renders it. And as I said, we'll learn a little bit more what it means to actually render something in the next video, why it's called render. But we can do this. We can just go this, and we can just say home.html. All right, so I've saved that. Let me come over here, and I need to actually make an HTML page. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to say this is my home page. And I'm going to come down here. I'm going to add a little bit of little something. Welcome to my site. All right, pretty easy. Okay, so you notice when I save this, nothing happens over here because this only will update if you're actually updating the server itself. The web pages aren't really part of that. They're kind of a separate element of the server. So they're pulling the page in and rendering it. All right, so now that I'm rendering my template home, I can come back over here, and if I refresh this page, let's go ahead and refresh it. It says welcome to my site. You'll actually see the title has changed. So it's loading my home.html. You will not see home.html up here. It just renders this and returns it back to this route. All right. So that's how you add a template, how you add some HTML, and I can do the exact same thing here for my about page. So if I do render template and I put about.html, save that, HTML page, and we'll just call this about page, and this is the about page. Done. All right, and now I can come back over here, and if I look at the about route, I get this is the about page. All right, pretty easy, right? Now, there's one more thing I want to show you, and this is just a little kind of a bonus thing. It's not necessary. You don't need to do this, but you can actually add more than one route per function. So if you want people, for example, if you want app.route, and I'm going to set this to home. So let's say I do this, I save it. Now, if I come back up here, I do this, I get welcome to my site. And if I also do this, I get welcome to my site. So I've actually added 2 routes to get to the same location. So that's just a possibility if you're looking for, if you want different addresses, different URLs to go to the same page, you can do that up here. Okay. All right. So just to recap, all we did here was we introduced the render template function, which allows us to load in HTML, load in some HTML from a templates directory. You absolutely must call this templates. It's what Flask is looking for. If you don't do that, it's not going to load it. Okay. All right. In the next video, we'll take a look at kind of why this is called rendering the template and something called Jinja. All right. I'll see you in the next video, and thanks for watching.